And you can see the low uh, concentration of ozone is this blue and purple color, and high concentration is the orange-red color. So where the abundant ozone layer is labeled by this color, and they all go very, very low, around 2000. So that's a big problem causing skin cancers. So I want you to check out this video and gain basic scientific knowledge. What is ozone? And how it protects us, and how it gets depleted, and why it rises up again and repair itself, which is a fabulous thing, right? So regarding pollution of the air, I want to emphasize the uniqueness of air pollution. Because air flows pretty fast, much faster than water. So it's been it takes about like 2 weeks for the air to travel around the globe. That is very fast. And because of this unique movement of air, we have contamination floating from one city to another city, from one country to another country. So it's a global thing. I put one sample here. So it is not just one area problem. It is a global health problem. And many of the megacities of the developing world have extremely poor air quality because of the not smart planning, right? Not smart planning of the urban area. And unfortunately, those people are living with very, very poor air quality. Now, you can see I put a funny face here, and I put test point here. So this is my test point. The test point means you definitely need to know, understand, and remember. So the 5 major types of materials are released directly into the atmosphere in unmodified forms. Those are called primary air pollutants. They are carbon monoxide, the silent killer, VOC, the precursors of chemical smog, the particulate matter, the fine particles causing serious health issues. We'll have a lab thoroughly studying this. And the sulfur dioxide, which contributing to smog, forming of the acid rain, and oxidize of nitrogen. So those NOx form smog and acid rain, and do a lot of harm to the human health also. That is let's go back, because this could be confusing sometimes, so pay attention. So these are the primary air pollutants. What is the secondary air pollutants? Those pollutants form under reaction of the primary pollutants and water or sunlight. One product is ozone. This ozone is different from the ozone sitting in the stratosphere. This is the chemical reaction products of this reaction. So pay attention to the difference. The ozone has two sides. It could be beneficial if it's in the right place, right stratosphere. It is very harmful to human health when it's sitting at the ground level. And the criteria, air pollutants, which are defined by EPA, those are nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, and lead. This could be the primary or secondary air pollutants. But now I want you to keep this in your mind. Primary is something we human release to the air without modification. And the secondary pollutants, they are the products reacted from the primary pollutants. Sometimes these two could overlap, but you need to know exactly where they come from. Okay, and the criteria air pollutants are the 6 category pollutants which are utterly important, which are the targets to be regulated by EPA. And we will see more details in the following slides. So I want to give you some background to the primary pollutants here. Carbon monoxide. Why it's a silent killer? Because it's colorless and odorless. Okay, and it happens when there's not enough oxygen happens, and when something is burning. That is how it is produced. A lot of houses and apartment complexes where the people live have carbon monoxide detected because it is very toxic. And 0.001% can cause death. And the reason is it's deplete the hemoglobin on our red blood cells. So the red blood cells is less capable of carry oxygen. That's why people get suffocated by breathing in this odorless and colorless gas. And another source of the contamination is cigarette smoking. So quit smoking if you want to have long life and a healthy, happy life. The good news currently is that in this country, the level of this gas have decreased by about 75% between 1970s and recently. Recently, it's only like 10 years ago, right? But still, that's a lot of drop. Why? I want you to think about why the air quality improved so much, because I have a great story to tell later on. So that's the first group of pollutants, carbon monoxide. It comes from burning. It comes from automobile driving. I probably forgot to mention that, but that is important. Automobile driving and the cigarette smoking. Cigarette smoking is not that massive at automobile driving, but it is very harmful. So now I talk about the second category of the primary pollutant, which is particulate matter. Sometimes it could be the secondary pollutant also. So the PM has two types. One is less than 10 micrometers, the size of the particle. Another one is lower, the smaller than 2.5 microns. So I think it's pretty straightforward to understand, but they do different things. They all do very harmful things to our respiratory systems. And the larger ones, the larger particle, which is PM10, are primary pollutants, and the smaller than 2.5 are mostly secondary pollutants. And the particulates, those particles, can accumulate in lungs and interfere with the ability of lungs to exchange gases. And that is a really bad thing. I give you a lab to work on after this chapter to let you know how bad they are and how harmful they are to human health. So it makes the air looks like the picture at the bottom on the right side, and they come from the PM10 come from the dust, and the PM 2.5 are the secondary pollutants. Mostly are the secondary pollutants resulting from interaction with primary pollutants, and they significantly harm respiratory passage and the lungs, especially the fine particles. And the good news is I still want you to think about why between 1990s to today, the PM10 has dropped 39% and PM 2.5 decreased about 11%. I want you to think about why. But the good news is the air quality is greatly improved in this country. The third group is sulfur dioxide. It's a compound of sulfur and oxygen produced when sulfur-containing fossil fuels are burned. It's an oxidation reaction. The sulfur is oxidized by oxygen. That's how sulfur dioxide was formed. And the mainly pollution source is fossil fuel burning. And the good news is, till this day, about 80% of those pollutants dropped in the air, and I want you to think about why. Okay.